How's it going, folks? Welcome back to yet another Ranger Talk. And I believe this is a first where I'm featuring a guest, a second visit from a guest I featured before. I believe that's the first time this is happening here. And it's none other than the magnificent Margarita Monet of Edge of Paradise. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining me.
Thank you for such an awesome introduction, and I'm honored. I didn't know that was the first to be the second. That's very cool. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And it's always great talking with you. And so just, huge thank you for taking the time to chat. So you've been up to a lot since the latest release, because the last time we spoke was kind of just after you released The Unknown. And
Yeah.
so since then, I mean, you've been busy, right? Touring, all that kind of stuff. What was that like, post-release of The Unknown?
Um, yeah, we've been busy. So we went on I'm trying to think because a lot of things happen. I lose track on when happened, what and when. But yeah, we did the UK tour. That was awesome to go back because the last time we've been there was in 2019. So it's always great to go back and see, people that you've seen before, and of course the new faces, and get back out there after COVID. So we time, yeah, we've been really itching to get back out there. So that was really cool. We recently did the cruise, 70,000 tons of metal cruise, which was such an awesome experience. If you're able to do it one of these years, you should definitely do it. It's just such a great time, awesome people, and lots of great music. And you're stuck on the boat, so you have nothing else to do but
That's so
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. And I have no excuse because I live in South Carolina. So going down to Miami, Florida is not bad. It's not like going from a different country to get here, but I've never done it. But I have to. So it's fun.
Yeah.
You guys had a good time, huh?
Oh yeah, it was a great time. Yeah, definitely do it. Yeah, so and we've had a really like the unknown reception, like we've grown a lot as a band. So that's been really cool. And we got new management, we got new booking agents. So on that side, we've had made a lot of strides. Yeah, but we went back and recorded another album. So there you go.
No,
So
you
it's
guys
been a
don't stop.
no, and this album is really exciting because it's a continuation of where The Unknown left off. So the story continues, but now we are in The Unknown, and we have a whole storyline behind it. So eventually, we're going to release a graphic novel, and we have new characters. Like we are on this new planet that's hidden out in the universe, and we come across the faceless civilization, and they're the most advanced civilization, and they are able to connect to the artificial intelligence, and just all kinds of stuff happens. So I can't wait to tell you.
Yeah, that
But
sounds so exciting. I was going to ask you if the new album is like a concept album or continues the story, but and that's so cool doing a graphic novel to go along with it. I mean, it just fits perfectly, just anyone who's seen your music videos with just the imagery and all that kind of stuff. So the story and the music being translated into graphic novel form, I mean, it seems like a perfect fit. That's so exciting. Are you going to be independently releasing the graphic novel, or are you going to work with the actual comic book publisher?
yeah, it's hard to say right now. We might work with someone. Right now, we already have a cover for it, and we have the storyline, and we're just working on. We have the concept, and all the ideas are there. So it's still in the beginning stages because the album's done. Now we just finished our second music video for it, and the way we want to do the graphic novel is as people are reading the story, there will be QR codes, and they can listen to the songs that are related to that part of the novel, and then they can see the video that guides them through the novel. So it's going to be like all interactive. So I'm excited. it's a lot of work, but it's all gonna come together, and yeah, it's exciting to see where it goes. So.
That's incredible. That sounds so cool. A truly fully immersive experience, visually, auditory, everything. That's so neat. I feel like, you're so artistic and you're always trying to take things to the next level. And this just sounds so cool, bringing everything kind of together and having a true experience. Are you doing the art for the graphic novel?
So I will be doing some of the art. I'm gonna do a lot of art on the side as well, but I love working with people just so they bring outside influence as well. Like for example, album cover art. I never like doing that just because I want I just want others' perspective to see, the artistic stand, what they can bring artistically by hearing the music, because it's always great to collaborate with other people because your ideas always grow together. So, like on this album, like the graphic novel, it's that is by Dresden Seven, Christopher Wanzi. He is a really amazing artist and he has these really great ideas. So we're working with him on the novel and the storyline, and he's actually playing the faceless character in our music videos. So it all kind of ties together.
Sweet. I feel
Yeah.
like at this rate, by the time the next album, not the next, new one, but the one after, you'll have like an animated series on Netflix or something like that.
Oh, because the way it's going, like there's so much action in this story, and like with the music videos, we filmed one for Hologram, which is the title track. By the way, the new album title is Hologram. Then recently we did a video for the Basilisk, which is a darker, more edgier song, and it's kind of like the origin story for how the faceless civilization acquired this technology. And the Basilisk, which I was portraying, was protecting the technology. But anyway, there's a lot that goes into it. But the music videos are almost like mini movies now, and the more we film, now we have such a great crew we're working with, and they really get our ideas. So as we move further, they're all gonna, like, the next music video for one of the main tracks on the album. I shouldn't say main, but it's one of the more powerful tracks that hold a lot of the meaning of the album. It's called Soldiers of Danger. So I think with that music video, we're gonna do it more of a mini movie style, where throughout the song there might be little interludes where it's really directed to the story. So yeah, let's see.
Wow.
It might end up being like a 15-minute music video. So we'll
Wow.
see.
That's awesome. That sounds so exciting. How busy you're keeping, and I love how you're even telling that story. How you infuse like this sci-fi, like you fuse kind of like AI and artificial kind of intelligence stuff with living, what do you call it? Living like bio, like organic thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just really neat how it blends that style, and you even portray that in the music. So I was going to ask you, between the unknown and this album, what sort of evolutions happened in the sound? Can we expect kind of a anything different, or like kind of the same but better, or what kind of
Yeah,
sound does this album have compared to the unknown?
it's definitely in that same vein. It's some cinematic. I would say it's even a little more heavier. I think we're really comfortable now with what the sound is, and we are evolving it. And it's the first time really where the whole lineup of the band played on the album, because before it was mainly Dave and I, and Jamie, our drummer, played on The Unknown. But our rhythm guitar player, David, and Kenny, our bassist, they didn't play on the last one. So this one was more of a collective, project. And it really captured really, I guess, the heart of the band. There's something raw about it, which we were listening to, and we were like, wow, like we've never really had that before. So it has that raw energy, but it's still very, I don't want to say polished, but it's cinematic. Like it's the music is like massive, but it has that raw edge to it. And you can definitely feel the story as well, because the lyrics, they're very they're very colorful, they're very descriptive, and I think the music supports it. Like people sometimes ask me like whether I make the music first with the lyrics, and with this one, I was sitting around playing with my keyboard a lot, and with every demo, it was like a kind of like a movie soundtrack almost. So that inspired the lyrics. So I had to make lyrics like very to match the music. But even though it's very cinematic and sci-fi and fantasy, what have you, it still has a lot of humanity in it. Has a lot of raw emotion that we all go through. So it's still very relatable, just on a sci-fi scale.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's like on a cosmic epic scale, but still very like grounded in a sense to like real, I get that. And that's so cool. You talk about kind of the raw energy that you're bringing to the new album. And there's certain things I feel like you can't like teach or learn. It's just something that you adapt to over time. And that raw energy, it seems like y'all have really just become comfortable with what you're doing, and what you're wanting to achieve, and it's kind of just flowing through you guys at this point. Is everyone kind of on the same page with the direction of the band and things like that?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody, this is a really solid lineup that we've had, and we've been together for a few years now, as this lineup. So, and we've done tours together now, and we have the Lacuna Coil tour coming up. So we're definitely very much more confident as a unit, and we all know what this band is about. We all know we feel very comfortable together, and I feel like we've sort of never had that exact unit feeling before. I mean, we've had great members that we toured with, but it's a bit different now because I feel like everyone's in it, like really in it. I don't know, but it's kind of like us against the universe, and we're like these characters, and we're fighting for the good.
That's something that's always nice fighting for, right? That's what you want to fight for. But that's cool. No one's just showing up for a paycheck. Everyone's there and invested in the project and the future. So that's so cool. Have you guys played any of the new songs live?
Yeah, for the first time we played them live was on the Metal Cruise back in January. Yeah, and it was so much fun. We played Soldiers of Danger and the Basilisk and Hologram. Yeah, we played Hologram as well. Yeah, it's so much fun playing these songs because they're so fresh, and they do have a certain energy to them live as well, because I feel like they're a little more aggressive. There are a few ballads on the album, but they're kind of like the ballads, like the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not like quiet ballads.
Yeah,
Know what I
sweeping and soaring ballads. Yeah,
Yeah,
is what we get with Edge of Paradise. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of the tracks are really aggressive, rhythm wise, like Soldiers of Danger, like when the
Fists
song
in
comes,
the air.
you want to go like
Yeah.
battle ready. So
Oh, I
it's
love
fun.
that. Yeah, that's awesome. What was the reception to the new songs for those lucky folks who got to hear them? What kind of reaction did you get from them?
I think people were really into it. Overall, we had really great shows lately. Just with the fact that as a band we're so much more comfortable together. the music. We're so used to play, like we're all really excited about the music, and I think it really comes through live, and people really get into it. And we were really excited to see people were singing along to Digital Paradise, which was very exciting for us. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And now that, like, for the Look in a Coil tour, we're building out our stage show more. So we definitely want it to be a visual experience as well. So you'll see some really interesting things when you come to our show.
Awesome. It sounds like a show not to miss, that's for sure. Cinematic and visual and epic auditory experience. You guys are always just pushing it one step further. How do you keep that? How do you keep all this creativity go? Are you just constantly overwhelmed with ideas? Are you always jotting things down, or how do you manage all of your creative thoughts and ideas?
I think I definitely drive Dave crazy with all of that. Like, oh, we can't do video. We just finished the album. Like, slow down. But I think it's partly like I have a really strong vision, and like I can see it on the horizon. And sometimes it's frustrating. You can't get there fast enough because you have limitations of your daily life sometimes, and traffic. But yeah, but it's just, I think the key is to keep being excited about it. For me, I'm really passionate about the music. I'm passionate about the story, and when you come across people that share that same spark, you start feeding off ideas one another, and it's really exciting to me that I see that all the band members are excited about it, so it fuels my passion, and yeah, we kind of feed off of each other, and of course all our friends and fans online. It's that's what really fuels us, is seeing them that music has meaning to them, and that's really where why we do it. And when we play the music live, seeing people out in the audience and meeting them live and just exchanging that energy, that's really special to us and really inspires us. So.
Awesome. And one thing that's so cool about the band is you guys really have like a signature sound, which is neat. That's difficult to find these days, but you guys have really found this signature sound. You hear even just the music before you start singing, which you have a very signature voice as well. But before you even hear you singing, you hear the music, it's like, oh, this sounds like Edge of Paradise. It just the way that it's created. And that's just so cool. But
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I mean your voice too, a very signature voice. Even on a song, like you were featured as a guest on a song for the band Irenaeus not too long ago, After the Rain. And I mean, you brought just such power to that, and it's like you hear the voice. It's like, yeah, that's Margarita Monet. That's her voice there. So that was so cool. Do you enjoy doing collaborations with different bands?
They're such great people, Stefan. But the song was also, I fell in love with it. It's just such a beautiful song, and my whole family loves it. And it was really cool because my family is Armenian, and most of the members are Armenian. They featured the Armenian instrument, duduk. So
Yeah.
it was especially like the acoustic version where it really shines through. I don't know. It was really special to me just to work with them and contribute vocally. Just, I think the song is beautiful, and I was really happy to be a part. So yeah, thank you for connecting us, by the way.
Oh, no problem at all. It was my pleasure. But yeah, glorious song. I loved it. It all came together very well. Top talent, you and Stefan and Derek Sherinian, of course. And it just really, really great. But so do you look to do like guest appearances in the future? Like, I know you've also been part of, what was it? Not Magnus Carlsen. It was, or was it?
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yes, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I'm very open to, and I always love working with new people. I guess the challenge is just finding time, and it's easier now because of technology. You know, you can work with people remote, but still, I think it's just has to align just for, you know, when people are working on certain projects and they need it in that time frame. And
Gotcha.
but yeah, I look forward to doing more collaborations.
Cool. One thing I want to ask you, I don't think I asked in the first chat, and forgive me if I did, because I know I asked you kind of your origins with metal and music and things like that, but you talking about the new story on the album and all that made me think, you know, that you're very into sci-fi, you know, that kind of storytelling. How did you get into sci-fi? What was kind of your entry point? What opened your eyes to that kind of storytelling?
Um, you know, I have to say, since as early as I can remember, and I have very early memories. I think I was like 1.5, and I have like flashes of. I know
Oh
I
my
have
God. That's crazy.
crazy, but I've always I've always been like a seeker of I always wanted to see more to reality than what it is. And I've always seeked out stories that really fascinated me. And I think part of it is also thank you to my parents because, well, I grew up in Moscow. I was born in Armenia, and then my family, when Soviet Union fell apart, we moved to Moscow. And there's a lot of shows and theaters and just museums like every day. So my mom would take me like everywhere. So I was a lot of storytelling very early on. And then of course I discovered Star Trek and it's funny because like now I look, it's like, you know, PG-13, and I was like 5 years old watching all this stuff.
It's pretty mild though, you know, at least Star Trek,
Yeah.
but still
I mean,
that's a lot to grasp for a 5-year-old, like everything going on, you know.
yeah, so I just remember really loving those shows, Star Trek and Wild Wild West of all things.
Now you got that theme song stuck in my head. Oh no, from the movie.
Oh, not the movie, the TV show.
The TV show, right? But it's like now I have the Will Smith singing in my head.
The Will Smith version, so I
You
don't
never
know.
saw the movie? They made a
No, I've heard of it. I just refuse to see it because I'm so used to like the TV show. But then, you know, of course, the Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I love Lord of the Rings. Like I remember so we came to Houston. I was about because we moved from Moscow to Houston, and I was 11. That was the first thing I saw here was Lord of the Rings, and I was so into it that we had bamboo trees outside our house, and I went and I made bow and arrow out of them, and I punched them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you know, I love reading books, and yeah, I read a lot as a kid, and yeah, I just kind of grew up around it, and I was always into it and fascinated by it. So it all makes sense in my head.
Yeah, no, you have quite the imagination, and we all benefit from you just letting it run wild because then we get awesome music and music videos and all that good stuff. So thank you for sharing your imagination with the world, I guess. So that is, and so the new album is called Hologram.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, everyone it needs to be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna put all the social media stuff in the description below so you can follow Edge of Paradise and Margarita Monet. And you do art and stuff like that as well too that you sell online, correct? People can
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of art, and just give you a little teaser also about Hologram and like the title track. So the kind of the idea behind it, the reason we called it Hologram is because to explore all the worlds that we're exploring on this album, some are so volatile that the only way we can visit them is in a form of hologram. That's one of sort of the ideas about it. But of course, there's more that goes into it. And you know, what's really funny is when we were trying to figure out what to name the album, because we were exploring different ideas just because of all the storylines that kind of touches, you know, the album touches. When we decided to go with Hologram, it was all over the news that day that I forget what, there was some new discovery. And then it was like holographic theory of the universe is more, you know, it's closer than we thought. So it's just kind of interesting how it all fell on that day. But hey, maybe
Yeah.
it's
No, that is so cool. You know, I've never really thought about that. Like even the planets in our own galaxy, you know, some of them you just can't go there, you know. So by going through like a hologram, or I guess even like the future is maybe in like a VR thing, you know, and you're just controlling where you're going or whatever, and get to explore it. So that's a really cool concept. And like you said, I mean, science and things are progressing so fast every single day that so many new discoveries and technologies and things that the stories you depict in your albums might be just right around the corner. Like you never know. So
well, you know, one thing that's really fascinating to me, and it kind of played a role a little bit in some of the ideas for the songs, is the whole idea of quantum entanglement. And I mentioned it sometimes, but have you heard of that before?
yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's, you know, how basically these particles, and one particle can be on the other edge of the universe, and one's like going through us right now, and they're basically mirroring each other, and they're exactly connected. So it's so mind-blowing. But then I'm thinking maybe our scale is so small, right? But since universe is infinite and we can't even grasp it, you know, maybe the distance between those particles is like distance between me and this coffee, right? So it's,
Yeah,
but to us it's just like,
yeah, yeah.
it's just,
Everything's relative. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Everything is relative, even like just perspective wise, and like even I mean, just thinking of, you know, from you to like the nearest wall is like a few steps, but for an ant, I mean, it's like maybe a half a day journey. Like you never know. So it's like everything is just kind of relative. Distance, time, all measurements are really just human concepts of what we can understand.
I think Einstein said like the greatest, I forget, I think it was him, the greatest illusion of the universe is the illusion of distance, right?
Maybe it sounds familiar. Yeah, because who knows, and I don't know. And like you said, there's certain things that travel at the speed of light, just light itself. Like I don't know. We could definitely just sit here and just theorize and talk about crazy stuff for hours, but people are watching are probably like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know I started a TED talk or something like that." But yeah, no, it's wild, and so it's cool that you kind of explore a lot of those concepts and things like that, and it's crazy to see what the future holds. But you have a lot more knowledge about that stuff than most, and so my final question is kind of a two double two in one kind of a question is we all know, I know you said you were born in Armenia, but we all already know the truth that you're from another planet in a galaxy we've never heard of before, way out in the cosmos, somewhere. So my question is, how did you come to arrive on Earth to begin with, and what is it about Earth that encourages you to stay? Why not just keep exploring? Why do you like it here so much?
People like you.
Oh wow! Oh, that's this. No one is ever going to top a compliment like that. I mean, that was just incredible. That wow, wow,
But I mean,
amazing. Thank you for that. That was just the too
I mean,
kind.
I think humans are pretty amazing. Of course, we have some, you know, bad times, and especially now, like there's a lot of unrest in the world. But I think ultimately, just you know, when you, for example, you go on the metal cruise, and people are just so kind, and they're just so passionate, and um, I think it's great. I think that's why aliens haven't been destroyed us yet. I, you know, I know that's why, because we have great music and we have some cool people. So
There you go. They know that extraterrestrials like you are here to help guide us to the path of enlightenment. So we're good. It's good to know. That brings
Yeah.
comfort to humans like myself. So, but anyway, I'm just so looking forward to all this cool new stuff with the new album Hologram, with the new music videos, with the graphic novel, with the art that you continue to produce. I mean, for an Edge of Paradise fan, there's no better time to be a fan than right now. I mean, it's just exciting. You already have a lot of cool stuff that's already out there for folks to explore, but really, really excited. Cannot wait. And for those of you folks out there that feel the same as me, like I said, all of the Edge of Paradise and Margarita Monet social medias, links, stuff like that, it's all in the description down below. So go explore that. Check out the music if you haven't already, or follow them on social media so you know when they're going to be dropping their latest creation, all those kinds of things. And once again, thank you again so much for taking the time to chat with me. It's always a pleasure. And then there may be a third one. Maybe you'll be the first one to be on 3 times, you know.
Oh, definitely. Once that stops.
Yeah, sounds good to me. But thank you again so much. And thank you, everyone who watched. In the comments down below, tell us, how excited are you for this new stuff? How much do you love Edge of Paradise? Would love to talk about it. And thank you for tuning in. Catch you all next time, Ranger.
Cheers.